everyone, this is ChakaWhat here, and today I'm going to be presenting to you my top 15 quests of Fallout New Vegas. This list took a ridiculous amount of commitment, so I certainly hope you enjoy it.
You must have heard her radio broadcasts, though why a human would follow her invitation here is beyond me, unless you didn't listen very closely.
Up at number 15, I have chosen Crazy, Crazy, Crazy. As the name suggests, this quest is a little wacky. It is started by talking to an intelligent super mutant named Neil, who is camped out at the bottom of Black Mountain to warn away humans and others of his kind. He explains that the leader of Black Mountain, Tabitha, is an insane nightkin, and is hoping for someone to take her down. If we agree to help, we must make our way up the mountain, finding shortcuts and fighting through super mutants until we make it to the irradiated top. We convene with Neil, who tries to help us by misleading the invisible nightkin patrolling the area, giving us a clear shot to Tabitha. It's here we can decide whether to end the quest peacefully or violently by killing Tabitha. To end it peacefully, we must repair her robot Rhonda. Tabitha will become so overcome with gratitude that she'll leave us alone, and then travel off in the distance with her robotic companion. This quest is also a great opportunity to recruit the best companion ever, Raul Alfonso Tejada.
I'm not gonna feed you any bullshit. These aren't your common Vegas trash. They've all killed good NCR men, and plenty of mercs too.
14. 3-Card Bounty. A quest that I affectionately just call Satisfaction. It is given to the courier by Major Daughtry and Camp McCarran. He sends us to go after 3 particularly nasty fiends: Cook, Driver Nephi, and Violet. Cook is a psychotic pyromaniac rapist and apparently an excellent cook, who can easily be driven mad by killing his favorite Brahmin Queenie. Driver Nephi, known for his deadpan,
get fucked,
uses a golf driver to beat his enemies to death, and is often surrounded by many loyal fiends. Finally, Violet is a breeder who has a small army of hounds at her disposal. This is a great quest for good karma, NCR reputation, and caps, and you get a bonus if you bring back the head of your fallen opponent. I also love getting revenge against Cook for raping Corporal Betsy.
What in the goddamn? Let's keep this in the groove, hey? Smooth moves like smooth little babies.
13. Ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding. Ready for some good old-fashioned revenge? I'm not, because I have the Black Widow perk, and it's not Stockholm Syndrome if you're not kidnapped. Anyways, this quest is started after entering the New Vegas Strip and making your way towards the Tops Casino. After the greeter strips you of your weapons, you are graced with the sights of the man who shot you in the head, Benny. There are many ways to go about this quest. Benny can be reasoned with, killed, or the previously mentioned Black Widow perk can allow a female courier to have sex with Benny. I do that. And you can either kill him in his sleep, or fall asleep next to him and wake up with him gone, requiring you to chase him to the fort. I love how well thought out this quest is, and no matter what path you take, it is just pure fun.
You seem to be awfully interested in my boy Rex here, and you've done some good work for me already. I'll tell you what, you promised to get Rexy here to that doctor, and I'll lend him to you. What do you say?
12. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Remember that movie Frankenweenie? Yeah. This quest is Rex's companion quest and started by asking the king about the poor pup. Turns out, Rex has been having some health problems, so the king asks us to ask Julie Farkas of the Followers of the Apocalypse for help. Julie directs us to an old, cranky scientist named Dr. Henry who lives in Jacobstown. The king allows us to take Rex there with us. Henry explains that Rex's brain is old and he is in need of a new one, so he sends us on an errand to go fetch a new brain.
Igor, fetch me the brain!
There are 3 brains available for Rex. Ray's brain, which can be bought from Old Lady Gibson just outside of Novak. Violetta's brain, who along with her master, the fiend leader Violet, must be killed to acquire it, and Lupa's brain, who must be killed in the arena after talking to Antony in the fort. Each brain will grant a different perk to Rex and ease his pain.
Boarded a tin shack on the outskirts of One Pine. Jeremy Watson's never had it easy. His father worked as a caravan guard on the short loop, And his mother, like many Californians, braved the ruins of the old world as a prospect.
11. You'll know it when it happens. Ever dreamed of being in the Secret Service? Gotta say, that's a specific dream. Well, this main quest is triggered by siding with anyone but Caesar's Legion, and also works out best if you have positive NCR reputation. We meet with Ranger Grant and assist him with safety preparations for President Kimball's speech. This quest requires detective work, as we must sniff out 3 Legion assassination attempts, 2 by engineers and 1 by a sniper. If Boone is present as a companion, he'll also comment on good sniper positions. After completing a security sweep, we return to Grant, and the President arrives. From here, we must act fast and remain vigilant to keep the President alive. This quest can get a little stressful, but that's part of what makes it so great. Depending on the order of how you deal with the problems and how much you discovered on your security sweep, the quest can end a number of different ways. As long as it doesn't end with Kimball dead, though, you're good.
My wife was taken from our home by Legion slavers one night while I was on watch. They knew when to come and what route to take, and they only took Carla. Someone set it up. I don't know who.
10. 1 for my baby, and 1 more for the road. Craig Boone is a former NCR 1st Recon sniper who, along with Manny Vargas, has taken residence in Novak and watches over the town from inside Dinky the dinosaur's mouth. Unfortunately, Boone's wife Carla was kidnapped and enslaved by the Legion. Being a stranger in the town, he trusts our fresh eyes to uncover who sold his wife so he can kill them. He gives us his beret to wear as a signal once we found the person, and instructs us to take them out in front of the dinosaur at night when his shift is. So off we go, super sleuthing through Novak. We learn from conversations that no one much liked Boone's wife, but no one is very quick to give away any information. Though anyone can be sent to bite the dust, if you wish to find the right person, merely locate the bill of sale that is locked in the safe in the Dino Delight Motel, then bring her in front of the dinosaur for some good old-fashioned revenge. This quest is very emotional, and I don't know if any of you could tell, but I like being a detective very much. It also unlocks Boone as a follower.
Take a seat on the couch over there. Nero and me want to have a little talk with you.
9. How little we know. A gangster quest at its core, it can either be started by talking to Mick at Mick and Ralph's, or it can be gotten from Yes Man, Mr. House, or Colonel Moore during their respective main quest lines. Talking to the Gomorrah receptionist will point you in the direction of a thug named Cachino. Though initially very mean, Cachino can be persuaded by finding evidence of his plot against his boss, Big Saul. Or you can choose to throw him under the bus and deliver his journal to Saul. This is where you pretty much decide who you want to side with. Siding with Cachino will take the courier on a ride to uncover the Omerta's plot and weaken Big Saul and eventually kill him. Siding with Big Saul will wrap the courier up in the Omerta scheme. The quest is very Godfather-esque, and I love how it offers the true gangster feel you would expect from a game set in Vegas.
You took advantage of us at New Canaan to drive us out. And like the dogs of Caesar you are, you followed us to Zion. And now you stand on holy ground, a temple to God's glory on earth. The only use for an animal in our temple is sacrifice.
8. Crush the White Legs. This is the final quest of the Honest Hearts DLC, if you choose to side with Joshua Graham. After successfully uniting the Sorrows and the Dead Horses to take back their home, our revenge-fueled Joshua becomes our temporary companion as we trek through the Grand Canyon to the Three Marys, killing all the White Legs we see. Once in the Three Marys, we are reunited with the warriors and hunters. While making our way through the river, however, an explosion causes rocks to block our path. An impatient Joshua leaves our company to find a way around, leaving us on our own to fight through the caves full of White Legs. Thanks, dude. Finally, we are greeted with Joshua executing 2 White Leg members and angrily berating Salt Upon Wounds. The disgraced war chief pleads with us to talk to the New Canaanite, calling him crazy. It is here we are given the choice to convince Joshua to spare him, to kill him ourselves, or to encourage him to kill Saltapon Wounds himself. Why I like this ending as opposed to helping Daniel is I feel it's the one where you can finally calm the fires in Joshua Graham's heart.
And tonight, for the first time as a society, you are sampling that very dish, the meat we are forbidden to taste, the way it was meant to be eaten.
7. Beyond the Beef. Something sinister is going on in the Ultra-Lux. Sure, the White Glove Society used to practice cannibalism, but they don't still do that, right? All those disappearances must just be a coincidence. Well, the courier is employed to investigate one of these disappearances by a worried father named Ted Gunderson, whose son Ted is missing. Our investigation leads us to nothing on the surface, but as it turns out, another detective was looking into the White Glove's cannibalism. Talking to Marjorie, who holds disdain for cannibalism, and Mortimer, who wants to bring it back, spoilers haha, will help us get into his room, where we will be attacked. Further investigation reveals that the detective had a man on the inside. A meeting with him will get us the information we need to find Ted. There are many ways to go about finishing the quest. You can simply massacre the White Gloves, kill and cook Ted to return them to cannibalism, offer a human companion up in place of Ted, or get the recipe of faux human meat from Philippe and cook it, then confront Mortimer to cure the White Gloves of cannibalism. I love how the quest caters to whatever playstyle you want, and obviously the detective feel to it.
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
6. Old World Blues. After completing all the chores around Big Mountain, it is finally time to have our showdown with Dr. Mobius and get back our brain. We must travel to the Forbidden Zone, where we are attacked by robo-scorpions. I'm sorry. Within the dome, a monstrous giant robo-scorpion will rise from the floor, which must be destroyed or deactivated. Turrets and protectrons around the room can be activated for fire support, and the robotics expert perk certainly comes in handy. After it is dealt with, we can proceed to Mobius's lab. Turns out the Scourge of Big Mountain is nothing more than a kindly, chem-riddled, if a little eccentric old man. We are given the option to kill him or reason with him. Then we must reunite with our brain, who has taken on a snooty attitude. There's a lot of hilarious dialogue to be had, so take your time. After choosing to either leave or reacquire your brain, we must deal with the think tank. If Mobius is left alive, he gives good insight on their weaknesses. We can either choose to slaughter them all, or find a way to end the matter peacefully. If one has completed the side quest for the think tank members, you can ask Dr. Klein to confer with his colleagues who will all stand up for the courier.
I've kept in contact with them over the years, so I know where you can find them. But I doubt they'll open up to you unless I come along. I know I'm not always the most serious guy around, but this means a lot to me.
5. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. This is Arcade Ganon's companion quest, and triggered by gaining his trust and progressing to either The House Always Wins 5, Wildcard Change in Management, or For the Republic Part 2. Arcade feels like he could be doing more to help the courier's cause, and offers a little more information about his past and affiliation with the Enclave. He talks to us briefly about his time at Navarro, and about the Enclave remnants. With his help, he sends us to go gather them. They include Daisy Whitman and Novak, Cannibal Johnson in his cave, Dr. Henry in Jacobstown, Orion Marino in the NCR Sharecropper Farms, and Judah Krager at Westside. Each of the remnants gives a word to the phrase, "Dear old friends, remember Navarro," which is the password to the Enclave bunker. With all the remnants gathered, we must help them make a decision of whether to fight with the Legion or the NCR at the Second Battle of Hoover Dam. If we choose the Legion, Cannibal Johnson and Arcade leave, and there's no way to convince them to stay. If we choose the NCR, Orion will leave, but he can be convinced to stay. Arcade then must make a hefty decision, whether to stay and fight with the remnants or return to the followers. His initial decision will be affected by how the courier responded to his comments about each remnant, but he can be swayed onto a different path with a speech check. I like how this quest paints the Enclave in a different way than we've ever seen them, and how Arcade offers a fresh viewpoint as them as his father was one. It's also heartbreaking since after this, Arcade will leave the courier, and you get the strange sensation of losing someone who wasn't even yours.
Your city, Vegas, lies in the other direction, with the rest of its slaves. Or is it just you, courier, without the lights and ghosts?
4. The Courier. After fighting through the relentless divide and having our companion ripped away from us, we finally make it to Ulysses' temple. Here we are given the option to rescue Eddie, and if you don't, you're a monster. Just saying. With the gang back together, we must make our way through the temple, down the hallway, to the display of missiles and the man who has been in the shadows of our adventures the whole time, Ulysses. Philosophical and erudite, Ulysses can be dealt with in 2 ways. You can either choose to kill the courier, or spare him. Sparing him will cause him to take up arms with you as the 2 couriers fight the marked men assault. Though short, I feel this quest is very meaningful. The 2 couriers reunite under the old world flag. Very poetic. If it wasn't obvious, this quest is added with the Lonesome Road DLC.
Had to take him down a few pegs. Bring him down to my level. Begin again? Some things you don't get up from. I was going to prove it.
3. Curtain Call at the Tampico. One of the final quests of the Dead Money DLC, it is started by walking into the Tampico in the Sierra Madre Casino. We will be instructed by Father Elijah to either kill or break Dean Domino, and we will then proceed to the theater. The outcome of this quest heavily hinges on the relationship the courier and Dean have established. If we were kind and gracious to the old musician, he will be glad to see us and be quick to offer guidance throughout the theater. However, if we were cold or decided to pass any of the barter checks, he will be less than pleased and will count on the security holograms killing us. After briefly conversing with him, we will break dialogue and have to make our way backstage, grabbing Vera's key from Dean's dressing room, all while avoiding and destroying the speakers. In Vera's dressing room, we will find a holotape of Dean singing Something's Gotta Give. Taking this to the hologram projector will put on a show and put the security holograms at ease, making the theater safe. After this, we are free to move backstage to where Dean is camping out. Again, from here we are given the option to slaughter him or hear his story. I feel like this quest is the one that is most connected to the history of the Sierra Madre, seeing how Dean is the only one who saw it in its prime and knew Frederick Sinclair. And with the former being my favorite thing about the DLC, I love how this quest gives an insight into the broken man he became.
The Brotherhood is failing. I've always known that. If we don't change course, we're going to fall apart or fade away.
2. I could make you care if only you'd let me. This is Veronica's personal quest and can be started by completing 3 of her triggers that give evidence to her hypothesis that the Brotherhood of Steel could be and should be doing better. After conversing with her, she implores us to take her back to the Hidden Valley bunker, so she may talk with Elder McNamara. Taking her back home reveals how much of a pariah Veronica is amongst her family, possessing not only a fiery spirit, but a sense of humor. She tries to convince the Elder to no avail, so instead she aims to prove it to him. She tells us more about her mentor, Father Elijah, and takes us to a small shack with a terminal where he would leave messages for her. From here we can choose to go after farming technology, a pulse gun, and the Euclid Sea Finder in Archimedes 2. All options contain their own challenges and choices, therefore one is not easier than the other. With the technology in hand, we are able to travel back to Hidden Valley, where a confident Veronica again attempts to convince the Elder that the Brotherhood needs to change to survive, but he again disagrees. Now we can help Veronica in a big decision, to stay with or to leave the Brotherhood. Convincing her to stay will cause a group of Balatons to try to kill us for going against the Elder. Convincing her to leave and join the followers of the Apocalypse will cause the group of Paladins to follow us to the station and murder all the followers there. This quest is heartbreaking and very real in the fact that people are so scared of change and will do anything to keep to their ways.
Seekers, board the rockets. Take your seats. The great journey awaits. To the promised land we go. To the far beyond.
And for number 1, I have chosen, Come fly with me, let's fly away. No doubt one of my favorite Fallout quests ever. It can be started a number of ways, either by talking to Manny Vargas or Nobark Noonan in Novak, or going directly to Jason Bright will begin this quest. The courier is charged with helping to get rid of the ghoul problem at the RepCon test site. After fighting our way through feral ghouls and entering the facility, we are greeted with the gruff voice over an intercom, beckoning us to go up the stairs. There we find a whole brotherhood of ghouls and a curious human named Chris. The brotherhood is led by a glowing personality, I'll see myself out, named Jason Bright, who claims to have received visions from our creator about a place called the Far Beyond, where ghouls can go to bask in the healing glow and find safety from the bigotry of the humans of the Wastes. However, preparations for the rockets that were supposed to take them have been halted due to a nightkin infestation in the basement. If one chooses to resolve the matter peacefully, we must sneak through the basement to a room with a competent nightkin named Davison, who listens to a Brahmin skull named Antler. He says that the nightkin showed up there due to a stealth boy shipment, but it's in a room that they cannot go in. It is revealed that they can't go in there because a ghoul named Harland, who was a half-hearted member of the Bright Brotherhood, won't move from his spot until you can find his friend for him. His friend is located in a jail, and if you want to make sure Davison doesn't get mad at you, you can't kill the jailer. After the basement is cleared, the Bright Brotherhood will move down to the launch pad, with Jason remaining behind to thank you and profusely request for more help. He directs you to Chris, and also gives an explanation to Chris's human state. If you are able to convince Chris he is human, you can either encourage him to sabotage the rockets to kill the ghouls or continue to work on them. If you choose the latter, you'll have to gather rocket fuel and parts for the rockets. After all of the chores are done, you must proceed to the controls and either launch or fail the rockets. I hope you've enjoyed my list and found it helpful, and remember to like and subscribe. Bye!
Do you believe in kissing, honey? You bet I do. Well, I believe in kissing, honey, when the moon is new.